Tropical storm Barry brings familiar question to sinking Louisiana island. Stay or go? Slideshow by Photo Services. Point Auxiliary Shen, Louisiana. Jutting into the Gulf of Mexico, approximately 2 hours south of New Orleans, the Isle de Jean Charles, A. There's no sign. You know you've made it. A 3-mile ribbon of asphalt stretches forward, marking the only road near out of the settlement of stilted fish camps. On either side, we're going to get some water, said Anthony Verdun, who grew up on the island and spent Friday preparing for a storm. Isle de Jean Charles was once a 22,000-acre saltwater oasis accessible only by boat. Thought to have been set, but the island has shrunk to 300 acres since 1955, losing 98% of its land to a combination of erosion and rising sea levels that have made the community a poster child for global warming. In 2016, the federal government designated $48 million toward a plan to relocate the Biloxi Cheetamacha Choctaw tribe from their ancestral home, making them the first climate change refugees in U.S. history. Verdun, a member of the tribe, now lives elsewhere at 2/3 of the year. In his lifetime, you see how narrow the road is? We lost 50, while the plan for relocation may remain mired in political squabbles, the more pronounced difficulties come with trying to decide how to pack home and culture. A tropical storm Barry marks the beginning of another hurricane season. And as the winds, 2 houses away from where the road ends at the sea, Lee and Linda Morvant worked hastily to hurricane-proof their camp, moving furniture and other household items out of areas open to wind and rain. Linda grabbed a rocking chair and started toward the stairs. No. The Raceland residents bought the camp 3 years ago. It was what they could have, but the constant flooding is more like catching a hardhead catfish, a problem that keeps popping up despite the number of times you throw it back. It floods at high tide, Lee Morvant said, with the cracked mud beneath his feet making the point for him. Standing next to her husband on the dock, Linda Morvant said the prospect of being shut in with nowhere to go is likely for those who stay. Others.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park,